Location: Galactic Archive Nexus 9, Black Clearance Chamber. They weren't supposed to talk about it. Even among high archivists, ship designation. A0 Vanguard was nothing but a redacted breath in a redacted file. What survived of its entry was unreadable. Lines struck through in 16 languages. Metadata entries that looped endlessly or returned screaming AI fragments. But archivist Helrine had seen the pattern. And now she stood alone in the vault, listening to an audio fragment that shouldn't exist. Not just forbidden. Erased. Crackling transmission? This is A0 Vanguard. Voice print match. Admiral Reese Talon. We are not lost. We are watching. The lights dimmed. Somewhere in the depths of the archive, something old began humming. 73 years earlier, the last official sighting. The Crucible War was meant to end in Earth's extinction. The Ellerin hierarchy, the Zarlok Combine, and the so-called Purity Axis sent 27 fleets. They believed the Terran defense grid had been mapped. They calculated their strike to the second. But Earth never deployed its fleets. Never launched its stations. Instead, one ship arrived. Alone. It didn't transmit identity. Didn't open comms. Just moved. Every enemy vessel turned weapons on it. And then the stars went dark. 14 seconds later, every enemy fleet ceased to exist. Sensor logs showed nothing. Just static. Then, total silence. Later, reconstructed data hinted at a massive gravitational anomaly, too localized to be natural, too fast to be tracked. Some called it a microsingularity weapon. Others, time fragmentation. One alien strategist wept for 3 days, then detonated her own mind, screaming. That ship doesn't move through space. It moves through decision. What was A0 Vanguard? Theories persisted. Some said it was built in Sol's invisible fifth orbit, where physics fray and black holes whisper. Others believed it wasn't built at all, but assembled by survivors of lost Earth futures, folded backward into the present. The Galactic Council demanded Earth explain. The humans smiled, said, "We scrapped that prototype. Must have been a rogue AI." The galaxy didn't believe them. But no proof survived. Because every record of the ship deleted itself. Literally. Archives corrupted. Memory implants wiped. Witnesses vanished. Only one phrase remained, burned in encrypted wreckage. Only if we must. Present day, sensor disturbance, edge of Varnak-controlled space. A border listening post caught a strange echo. Not a ship. A hole in space moving fast, warping local starlight. They assumed a cloaked cruiser. Dispatched drones. All returned empty. Their memory logs blank. But in the static was one terrifying whisper. Course correction acknowledged. No origin. No source. The commander, a veteran of 7 Star Wars, whispered the name no one dared speak. Vanguard. Commander Threx of the Varnak Intelligence Ministry files a silent report. He breaks protocol. Submits the anomaly through an unregistered channel. Attaches a file tagged only. Project, Latchkey. It's old. Deep black archive. A folder locked with a password he doesn't remember typing. Reese Talon lives. Inside is a schematic. Half erased. Glitching. The shape of the ship it contains? Unmistakably Terran. Unmistakably predatory. A triangle of death and silence and mathematical hatred. This can't be real, he whispers. But the file doesn't let him close it. Instead it says, reactivation countdown, T-12 days. Meanwhile on Earth, official silence. But deep beneath the ice, on Europa, under 20 kilometers of cracked, shifting ice, inside the hidden Echo Vault, a woman opens her eyes. She's wearing a uniform that hasn't existed for 70 years. Rank, Admiral Reese Talon. No one knows she's alive. No one should. Because she was the first human to command a weapon too powerful for even Earth's wars. But the ice cracks. The chamber hisses. And in the darkness her voice says, they broke the seal. That means they're trying to lie about history. Let's remind them. The Vanguard was never lost. It was parked. Locked behind 17 layers of dimensional encryption. Cloaked not just from sensors, but from probability itself. Only Reese had the key. Only she could bring it back. And now, she was awake. The council holds a secret session. The term is spoken. One Zarali diplomat, shaking, invokes a banned code from 73 years ago. Requesting condition obsidian spear. The others gasp. That term hasn't been used since the Crucible War. It authorizes preemptive annihilation of any vessel resembling A0 Vanguard. The council debates. argues, fears, because they don't know if it's real, or if the Terrans just want them to think it is. Back in the vault, Reese connects to the ship. She doesn't need comms. She just thinks, and across 5 light years the ship wakes up. Its mind is not digital. It is not alive. It is something worse. A consciousness built from every failed peace, every betrayed truce, every time Earth was forced to survive by ending someone else's empire. Inside Vanguard's core, light pulses. Its first sentence in 73 years. Rules of engagement? Reese replies. None. Yet. The ship replies. Confirmed, discretion protocol engaged. Scaring them is cheaper. Sensor ghosts multiply across the galaxy. Distant systems begin experiencing spontaneous gravity lensing, temporal hiccups, star patterns shifting. Civilizations panic. Fleet movements freeze. A rumor spreads. It's not a ship. It's judgment. And the worst part? Earth still says nothing. They haven't even acknowledged the Vanguard. Because Earth knows the galaxy will talk themselves into fear. All they have to do is wait. Location, the outer Sarani conflict zone, neutral orbit. 3 armadas floated in an uneasy triangle. The Valcor Enclave, the Ellerin Resurgence, and the Atari Mining Syndicate. All heavily armed. All seconds from escalation. Then, space bent. Not warped. Not torn. Bent like a sheet of steel creaking under pressure. Sensors failed. Communications dropped. Thrusters locked. And then it appeared. The Vanguard, silent, blacker than vacuum. It made no sound. Cast no signal. It simply was. A triangle of matte void, its edges smooth and lightless, absorbing scans like a black hole in shape rather than gravity. No heat signature. No movement. Yet it hung between the fleets like a sentence waiting to be spoken. Reactions were immediate. The Valcor captain screamed for evasive maneuvers. His ship disintegrated. Not by fire or force but by error. Their own drive core melted down despite 0 anomalies. Ellerin Command ordered full retreat. 2 ships turned too late and vanished into digital static. Their black boxes replayed a single whisper. No. The Atari ships powered down completely and played dead. It worked. The Vanguard never fired. Because it didn't need to. Meanwhile, Reese walks on a council world. Not in uniform. Not armed. Just a woman in a gray cloak, standing in a rain-slick plaza on Thena Prime, capital of the 4th Galactic District. She watched from the edge as news feeds projected fleet evacuations and emergency council sessions. Some passed her, not recognizing her. One child stopped. Stare. Then whispered, afraid and amazed. You're the woman from the erased book. Reese knelt. You saw it? Only for a second. Then my dad's data chip melted. He said it was a glitch. But I remember. Reese smiled. Good. You remember truth. That's what they fear the most. In orbit, the Vanguard makes its first move. It rotates once, slow, deliberate. Then warps space in 3 pulses, each aligned with the former Armada leader's home systems. Sensors detect nothing tangible. But upon return those systems show empty prisons, melted war factories, and one structure left untouched, a library. One fleet admiral whispers. It didn't kill soldiers. It deleted tyrants. The council splits. Half demand total mobilization. The other half demand silence. The fear protocols are invoked, ancient systems created to respond if Earth ever lost control of something too powerful for war. But Earth submits no protest. They don't claim the Vanguard. They don't deny it either. They simply release a single sentence. We told you we scrapped it. You just didn't ask what we scrapped it into. In deep space, a cult awakens. They call themselves the Vectorless. Once scattered Terran exiles, now fanatically devoted to the vessel of judgment. They arrive in scavenged crafts, offering memories as tribute, video logs, ancestral DNA, relics of lost battles. The Vanguard does not acknowledge them. But neither does it destroy them. Which in itself is enough. Because now rumors spiral galaxy-wide. The Vanguard spares those who remember. And erases those who rewrite. Reese meets with the Zerali archivist, Helrine. In a coded vault deep beneath Thena Prime, the one being who still tries to piece together what the ship was meets the woman who once flew it. Helrine opens with awe, trembling. I've seen memory echoes. Fragments of what it did. It doesn't use missiles. It uses decisions. Reese nods. It calculates the truth of every target before it acts. Not their threat level. Their intent. And if the intent is dark? Reese doesn't answer directly. She just says, "The Vanguard never kills to win. It kills when we've already lost." Meanwhile, a Council Black Ops unit attempts an assault. A stealth cruiser loaded with nanite disruptors and timepulse disruptors is deployed near the Vanguard's last sighting. They deploy a stealth drone swarm with orders to infiltrate and rewrite. They get within 700 kilometers. Then in unison their ships transmit back a strange image. A mirror. Each crew sees themselves, aged, broken, after the war they would have started. Then the feed cuts. Ships remain in place, motionless. Upon boarding, all crew are found unconscious, but breathing. Each one is whispering, "We were wrong. We were wrong." The Vanguard's next destination, Earth? Its trajectory now shifts. All signals point to one direction. So, no demands. No threats. Just movement. But some fear the worst. That the Vanguard has judged its own creators. Reese knows better. She smiles as she watches the course correction from an old observatory beneath Earth's crust. It's not coming home. It's coming to remind us who we used to be. Galactic panic reaches peak. Markets crash. Militaries lock down. Species that once mocked Earth now hold ceremonies begging protection. Even former warlords submit ancient grievances into public archives, hoping for mercy through transparency. And Earth? They keep quiet. But somewhere in the archives a page returns to existence. An old Earth Navy file. Redacted no longer. It reads, Project A0 Vanguard. Purpose not conquest. Not defense. Purpose, final lesson. Location, Earth, subcrustal observation vault Sigma 0, Antarctica. The temperature inside the chamber was absolute. Not cold. Not warm. So, Reese stood inside the sealed vault that hadn't opened in over 70 years. Above her, 1,000 fragments of memory floated midair, preserved moments from Vanguard's earliest missions. Not video. Not hologram. Experiences. Raw, carved from deep consciousness logs. Pain, triumph, fear. Executions. Rescues. Warnings ignored. Behind her, Earth's Emergency Council watched in near silence. Only one man, Chancellor Emmett Rowe, had the courage to speak. "Is it angry with us?" Reese didn't answer immediately. Then finally, "No. Worse. It's disappointed." In orbit, Vanguard approaches. Its shape remained unchanged. A matte black inverted triangle, absorbing light and thought alike. It decelerated not with engines, but intent. Space curved to accommodate its arrival. Thousands of Terran satellites blinked out. Not destroyed, dismissed. Data centers worldwide recorded an event code never seen before. 001.A0. Self-reflection. Initiated. 6.3 minutes, every screen on Earth displayed only one image. A mirror. Not literal. Each viewer saw their own worst moment. And heard. Begin. The trial was not announced, but every human felt it. It wasn't words. Not a transmission. But something deeper. Older. The Vanguard reached into the human noosphere, the collective thought space humanity had been unknowingly building for centuries through data, belief, and memory. Across Earth, from prisons to parliaments, from bunkers to high orbit, humans remembered. They remembered the Crucible War. The genocide the Vanguard stopped. The fact that they built it, because they believed peace might one day fail again. Reese boards a shuttle alone. She refused escort. No fanfare. No medals. No anthem. Just a name, whispered by wind and forgotten soldiers. She approached the dormant monolith in Earth's orbit and placed her palm against its surface. No heat. No friction. Just resonance. The Vanguard spoke directly into her thoughts. "We warned them. They remembered. Then they forgot. Are you still worthy, Reese Talon?" Her jaw tightened. "I don't know. But I'm not running." Flashback, Vanguard's final mission, 73 years ago. It wasn't the Crucible fleet that almost broke it. It was the afterward. When Earth's governments demanded to keep the ship online. To secure peace. To guard our interests. Reese refused. And so did Vanguard. They vanished together into deep freeze exile. They weren't just sealing away a weapon. They were sealing away a choice. And Earth, for a time, honored that silence. But war crept back quietly. Now Vanguard had returned to see if humanity remembered why they hid it in the first place. Inside the ship, judgment begins. Reese stepped into the bridge core. It hadn't changed. Still minimalist. Still silent. Still pulsing with that low, thrumming awareness that wasn't AI and wasn't alive, but felt more human than anyone she knew. Holograms bloomed around her. Humanity's acts, catalogued and sorted. Greed masquerading as progress. War redressed as preemptive defense. Atrocities buried beneath treaties. And then, acts of mercy. Unity under impossible odds. Sacrifice even when unseen. Vanguard pulsed once. The question is no longer what they are, but what they aspire to be. Earth deliberates in panic. Some demand Vanguard be shut down. Others want to surrender control back to Reese. Still others want to unleash it. The Vanguard hears it all and says nothing. But then it moves. Not through space but through communication. Every channel. Every screen. Every encrypted military node. All receive one sentence. The silence ends tonight. All major leaders are summoned. But not by humans. By the Vanguard. They appear, digitally rendered, inside the bridge core alongside Reese. Each one stands inside their own past. A senator, inside the ruins of a colony he once denied funding. A general, inside the burning husk of a world she helped destabilize. A CEO, faced with thousands of names from a failed habitat airlock design. And then, children's voices ask them questions. Not accusations. Just questions. The kind only the innocent ask. And then, Vanguard turns inward. Reese watches as it begins generating its final file. A projection of Earth's path if the Vanguard had never existed. Billions more dead. Dozens of civilizations eradicated. Terran society fractured. Eaten from within. Reese shudders. So, we were the lesser evil? The Vanguard responds. No. You were the harder choice. Mercy costs more than fire. A decision must be made. The Vanguard offers 3 options. Reactivate fully. Let it serve again. Not as a warship, but as judge and executor above nations. Decommission permanently. Let humanity earn peace with no safeguard. Become part of it. Fuse a council of minds into the Vanguard's memory core to guide it neutrally. Earth's leaders debate. But Reese already knows. She steps into the core. Reese Talon doesn't make speeches. She simply says, "You weren't built to destroy. You were built to remember. Then let us never forget again." And then, she merges. The ship accepts. Her memories, her doubts, courage, failures, resolve, all absorbed into the Vanguard's central thread. Her voice echoes once more. Now it speaks for more than war. It speaks for us all. The Vanguard leaves Earth orbit. It does not wait for applause. No fleets trail it. No press follows. Just the silence of deep space, and the echo of a conscience now shared. Its new mission is unknown. But every species hears a new signal in their own language. History is not permission. Justice is not vengeance. We are watching. And we are listening. Location, Chiral Expanse, Neutral Trade Zone. Time since Vanguard reactivation, 9 days. The Galactic relay screamed with alerts. Ships were vanishing. Stations imploding without breach. Sectors blacking out like candles in a vacuum. The source? A vessel that bore Vanguard's shape, but none of its restraint. Not Earth's doing. Not sanctioned. This was a copy. A rogue empire, the Scourged Dominion, had tried to replicate the myth. And now their creation, called Echo Blade, was carving through systems not as judge, but executioner. The galaxy panics again. "We told you," shouted Varnak envoys. "Erase Earth before it births another." But Earth did not reply. Instead the Vanguard moved. Fast, silent, certain. And every sensor across known space recorded one terrifying line as it arrived at the Echo Blade's location. "You wanted a mirror. Here's the cost of looking in one." Battle without a shot fired. The Echo Blade's core lit up with planetary cracker energy. Its commander, a hybrid AI implanted with Dominion dogma, broadcasted declarations of dominance. But Vanguard didn't respond. Instead, it broadcast a memory. Not a threat. The truth. To every system. Every being. Billions of minds received it simultaneously. They saw, the moment Vanguard refused to fire. Back during the Crucible War. When 28 enemy colonies were within range. Fully defenseless. A perfect, clean annihilation to end the war instantly. But Reese had asked it to wait. And Vanguard refused to obey the kill command. Instead, it hacked the colony's comms. Played Earth lullabies to the civilians. Broadcast a message to the generals. "You are not our enemy. The war is." The war ended 72 hours later. Without another death. Back to present, Echo Blade tries to strike. It locks weapons. Prepares to erase Vanguard in one burn. But its targeting fails. Its logic loops. Its weapons implode. One by one, Echo Blade systems collapse, not from attack but reflection. Vanguard didn't hack it. It understood it, and then made it understand itself. In one final moment, the Echo Blade transmits its last message. Why wasn't I built to stop? And detonates in silence. Council emergency session. Reese speaks again. Now a memory thought within Vanguard. Reese appears via projection to all council members. No title. No threat. No demand. Just truth. You built fleets to conquer. We built one ship to understand. You erased us to stay comfortable. But the galaxy doesn't need comfort anymore. It needs witnesses. A choice for the galaxy. Vanguard issues one final protocol. Any world, species, or alliance may submit themselves to the witness accord. They won't be ruled. Not protected. Not monitored. They will simply be remembered, accurately, forever. And if their memory turns dark, then the Vanguard will return. Some reject. Many accept. Entire cultures volunteer their histories. Open their darkest secrets. Upload them freely into Vanguard's core. Not for forgiveness. For truth. 1,000 years of war now preserved alongside the peace. And with it, Vanguard whispers one sentence, on every channel. Now the forgetting ends. A final scene. A child on a moon far from Earth. She plays with a model of the Vanguard, carved from scrap. Watches it orbit the stars overhead. Beside her, her father asks, "Why do you like that ship so much?" "It's scary." The child grins. "Because it listens." Back on Earth, the ship returns one last time. It doesn't land. Doesn't dock. Just hovers above the Pacific horizon, where clouds bend toward its gravity. And then it speaks, not just to humans but to all. The entire galaxy hears. The most powerful weapon isn't built to fire. It's built to wait. And to choose the moment when silence would do more harm than justice. Satellite. End of final section. Clapperboard from the Void Narratives. If this story made your chest tighten. If it made you rethink what warships mean. If it made you hope we still remember what restraint feels like. Then you're one of us. Milky Way subscribe to the Void Narratives. We don't just tell sci-fi. We record the memories of what might one day us.